Welcome back to Sandfire Overland. This is the second video about our fantastic off-road trip through the beautiful mountains of the Balkans. If you want to see amazing landscapes, if you want to see how we manage challenging off-road tracks, and if you want to get a feeling for the rugged beauty of the Balkans, then this video is for you.
Good morning. We had a very good night here at this abandoned farmhouse on a meadow. It was very cold though, close to freezing point again, but the morning is beautiful. The sky has a few clouds, but most of it is blue here, and we expect to have a nice drive from here, which is close to Prozar, to Mostar. It will be another drive through the mountains. I think it will go up to 1400 meters. We should have beautiful views, which you should have had already yesterday, but with the fog yesterday we didn't see that much. So hopefully today it will be much nicer, and then we will arrive in Mostar later this afternoon and have decided to stay there in a hotel in the middle of the city to explore that historical town a bit more intensively. And then tomorrow in the late afternoon we will continue our drive towards Sarajevo.
We drove along the edge of the Blidinje Nature Park and close to the peak of the Plotno mountain, which is the highest mountain in Bosnia. It was an amazing drive across a wide karst plateau, absolutely stunning landscape, and a historical site to visit as well.
We are here at an UNESCO World Heritage Site. The blocks you see behind me are actually tombstones. These are graveyards from the medieval age. It's very special for Bosnia. You can find several of these around the country. And the tombstones are made from limestone found in the nearby quarries. On some of them we can still see the decoration. A lot have actually a Rosetta as a key feature, but I don't know why. There is some explanation at the beginning of the site, but doesn't say much about the background of this.
Toby has been such a good boy on all this off-road tracks, so he deserves a little treat.
Isn't it a nice trip to the mountains of Bosnia with unbelievable views like this, what you see at the moment? It's just driving through the mountains with sunshine, beautiful views, colorful trees. It's just amazing. I love it.
We are here now in the old town of Mostar in the south of Bosnia. The town has a very famous historic center which was built, I think, in the 15th, 16th century. Unfortunately, a lot of it was destroyed during the Bosnia-Serbian war. By now, a lot has been restored, but not everything. But it is a beautiful town, which we will explore today and tomorrow a little bit more. It is an UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it is quite a unique example for a multicultural settlement back in the medieval times. Arriving in Mostar mid-afternoon was a shock. The town was absolutely crowded with tourists, so we waited until about 5 p.m. before strolling around the old alleyways. The next day, we went straight back into the mountains. Initially, it was quite an easy drive. Little did we know that later that day, we would face some real challenges on this trek. It was quite a drive up here, and we are not at the top. A very rough road with some obstacles to overcome, but great fun for Birgit to drive it. After this little break, the trek became really challenging and got our adrenaline flowing. This trek is developing into quite a challenge. It was very difficult already before, and now there is a lot of water and mud on the track. We could circumvent this big piece of mud and water, but there's more to come on this side. So it's very, very muddy, and we have created a little bit of traction with all this leaves and branches, and we also put 2 max tracks in, hopefully giving us more traction, and then Birgit will drive through this. Together we managed the challenges of this trek, but it took us about 5 hours for just 30 kilometers. Having said this, it's not about progressing fast, it's about fun, and certainly after managing this trek we had a lot of fun and we were happy that we did it. Our next stop was Sarajevo, also called Jerusalem of Europe. Churches, mosques and synagogues are often only a few meters away from each other.
on this cemetery, we think that there are mostly people buried that died in the war in the 90s, because all the tombstones show a death date of, let's say, 92, 93, 95, some 96. It is quite moving to see these many graves from people who died in a stupid war. Makes it much more tangible. In 1984, Sarajevo hosted the Olympic Winter Games. Today, all the sports facilities from back then are abandoned. We would say these are more or less lost places, not maintained at all, falling apart. We are discovering them today a bit. At the moment here we are at the ski jumping area, and later on we will see the bobsledge area. But it's a little bit sad to see that all these facilities are deteriorating and falling apart. You can see here the ski jumping area and the former lift. The cabins are still hanging there. Here we are at the former Olympic village. Unfortunately, a complete ruin. Apparently, the government tried to sell it and have it redeveloped into a hotel years ago, but that attempt failed, and now it's just rotting away. This is how it looks like inside of this facility. It is really a ruin. We continued our journey and reached Montenegro the same evening. Finding a camp spot was initially quite difficult. We found this spot here with a nice view, and it is on a closed rafting station, closed because of the end of the season. It was a cold night again and a very cold morning as well, but with our big sleeping bags we were comfortable enough. And now we will continue our journey along this beautiful gorge and then drive into the mountains. There is a nice off-road track which we will take today. It's an easy one again. Only 2.5 hours or something like this, and then we will decide how to continue from there. Either we stay somewhere for the night or we continue into the Durmitor National Park, which is apparently beautiful. And on top of the panoramic road is this nice little coffee shop with a nice friendly gentleman selling Turkish coffee, tea, honey and some cheese.
Later that afternoon we left the sealed road and turned into a dirt road. Our aim was to spend the night on a wild camping spot somewhere in the Durmitor National Park. We took the wrong turn and now we have to reverse back quite a bit with our car to get back to the point where we left this road. But luckily it's relatively wide and easy for Birgit to drive backwards. We found this cozy place hidden on the top of a hill. As it turned out, it was our last wild camping spot on this trip. The next day we would start our trip home and would only stay on campgrounds and in hotels. But there was one more insanely beautiful piece of nature we wanted to see before returning home. And that was Lake Skadar. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please do not forget to like it and to subscribe to our channel. See you next time here at Sandfire Overland.